Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video and another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at the full discography of the Rolling Stones. I'm counting down towards the release of Hackney Diamonds, which will be the 20th of October, and until then I'm going to go through their entire catalog and take a look at what has been going on. And it is an interesting and exciting journey, and this is the fourth video in the series, and today I'm going to be talking about this one, Aftermath. Now, what I've been listening to for this video is the Aftermath first UK stereo. I do not own a UK mono, and I started this series with the listening to the mono pressings. Now, I made an exception for that because I do have the mono box by the Beatles, and after three first UK monos, I put on the Aftermath mono. And the first thing I noticed, it lacked a punch. I mean, the box is good, but it changed the listening experience for me so much that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna switch to a first UK stereo for this one. Also, I've been reading online that the stereo mix on this one is supposed to be pretty good compared to the mono one. Yet, I will do a full video on the mono versus the stereo on this one, because on this particular album, I think it is interesting. Now, this stereo version does sound good, and this in the series is I think this album is a great step towards the future for the Rolling Stones. There are a couple of things going on here. First of all, this is the first album in which all the songs were written by the Stones themselves, and you notice that this is a different era of the Rolling Stones. When they have been relying on so many rock and roll, blues, and soul classics on the other albums, at this one, I get the impression that they have found something within themselves that is really exciting. And when you listen to these songs, it is strange that they did not start writing more of their own material sooner, because there are a lot of solid songs on here, and there are a lot of solid songs even lacking. For example, this is the UK version. This one does not have Painted Black. I mean, Painted Black, that's A-level songwriting, you know. These guys are incredible songwriters, and you can hear that on this album. Also, there have been some experiments going on. You can hear that the Rolling Stones knew what the Beatles were doing, knew what Brian Wilson with the Beach Boys were doing, and they noticed we gotta get with our time. And the time was new instruments, different orchestrations, different melodies intertwining, and you can hear that on the contributions. Brian Jones is doing some incredible stuff on here. Jack Nietzsche, who was for a certain amount of time the right-hand man of Phil Spector, he's on this album. These guys had great influences, and they bring this album to a whole exciting new level. For me, following the timeline, this has got to be my favorite album until now, with the first one being a second. But, you know, that is constantly changing during a timeline, and I already did a top 5 video of my favorite Rolling Stones albums. But you know what? After I've done this series, who knows, it might change. Looking closer at this album, it starts off with Mother's Little Helper, which is an awesome tune. I think the writing, the lyrics are very not nasty. They are rather intelligent. They are insightful, and they feel like a little pinch. You know, it's a nice little pinch. Mick Jagger knows where it hurts, and that's Mother's Little Helper. I love that tune. Not too long, nice, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. I like it when they're short, you know? Especially in this kind of rock and roll. Stupid Girls is a nice song. Lady Jane, I really like the orchestration of it. Under My Thumb, I think that's a banger, it's good. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of good songs on here. Take It or Leave It. This album has a lot of songs. And that also brings me to the one thing that I think is a bit of a negative side for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this album. But this record is about 52 minutes long. And for my taste, that is too long for a rhythm and blues or a rock and roll album. I really like the idea that a LP contains between 30 or 40 minutes of songs. As a matter of fact, sometimes even 25 to 40 minutes, because you've got certain country albums like Dylan's Nashville Skyline, which at 27 minutes, it's perfect. Perfect. The tension on those kind of records I really, really enjoy. And it's also what makes these first 3 albums of the Stones, which are all about half an hour, nice, sharp little punches. 52 minutes on one disc. That is stretching it. And it comes down to one song, which I don't think is a bad song, but it's Going Home. Going Home is 11 minutes 35. Take it off and you have an album of 41 minutes, which I still think might be a little lengthy for this for this kind of music. Yet, the result is, I don't think Going Home is a bad song, but I notice the way they are writing songs that have past side 2, although the songs are good, there is a moment of weariness. They take control back, and again, these songs are great. I mean, Out of Time is on here. Out of Time is a spectacularly, brilliantly good song, but they're pushing it on here. So, well, that's my opinion. That's my review of Aftermath. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And I'll see you in my next video, in which I'll be talking about either Between the Buttons or Flowers. I'm gonna have to pick. Both are from '67, but I do think I should include Flowers. But I'll see you in my next video. Bye.